consistently attract soulmate clients, begin showing up on brand, monetizing on your calling. Welcome all spiritual coaches, leaders, healers, light workers, and practitioners to a show that turns you on in your business and amplifies your magnetism. I'm host, catalyst, and spiritual business coach Rosalyn Fung, and I'm here to journey with you into the juicy and help you discover where the real gaps are. Ignite your mindset and soul with strategies and systems as each episode takes you to the sweet spot that activates your soulgasmic business. Enjoy this light language activation as we begin to magnetize and monetize. Welcome to episode 24, my love. Thank you so much for being here. You know I'm always so honored to have you choose to listen to my podcast. If you enjoy this episode, please do leave a review. Take a screenshot of this. Thank you so much to those of you who have of this podcast, and shout me out on social media so that more people can know about this podcast. So on Instagram, it's Bold Sexy Warrior. And on Facebook, it's Rosalyn Fung Coaching Bold Sexy Warrior. It would mean the world to me for you to take a few minutes to share and review this, as I would love for more people to really get activated from this energetic, sacred global container. So, my love, does it seem like no matter what you do, you almost get to where you want to be, but you don't ever fully feel like you get there? Do you ever feel like you are doing everything right, yet something still feels missing? Are you sick and tired of feeling like the efforts you put into your business don't seem to pay off, and you're left feeling exhausted, unmotivated, and uninspired? You question if what you're doing is truly your purpose? Well, fret no more. I'm bringing on my special guest and dear friend, Lisa Stamper, on today. Lisa is an intuitive life and business success coach, international speaker, best-selling author, online course creator and facilitator, as well as educator, and founder of the Soul Aligned Success Strategies. Lisa and I actually met in, Lisa, I think it was like about 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, when we were both taking Gabrielle Bernstein's Level 2 of Spirit Junkie in Kripalu. And that was such a magical event. And it was so cool to connect with Lisa. We had a lot in common. And so Lisa's mission is to help as many people as possible experience a presence of joy, inspiration, and abundance in their lives by awakening to their purpose. Lisa teaches people from all walks of life how to create the life they truly desire by aligning with their greatest potential so that they can experience lasting fulfillment, unlimited prosperity, yes please, and deep soul satisfaction, yes. She also works with heart-centered entrepreneurs to start and grow their businesses using practical and soul-inspired strategies to maximize their success. Lisa's passion for her work stems from her own healing journey, which she's going to share with us today. And Lisa has successfully helped hundreds of international clients find their path, stay on track, navigate their future plans, heal their relationships, strategize business and career choices, and so much more. So Lisa also hosts free intuitive readings every Sunday to help people navigate their upcoming week on her Facebook group, Lisa Stamper, Mind, Body, Spirit. So you guys are in for a real treat. So welcome, Lisa. I'm so glad you're here, love.
Thank you so much, Rosalyn. It's so fantastic to be here. I'm so honored. Thank you for having this incredibly sacred opening space for people to come and align and connect with each other.
Absolutely. And I just love, I would love for you to share. So I share with my guests sometimes that what I do before the live recording of this episode is that we really set the energetic intention between myself and my guests. And Lisa, I'd love for you to share the intention that you put out here today, because it was so beautiful. I'm like, this is too good not to share with the collective.
You're amazing, certainly. So I set the intention that we ask to connect to our higher selves and for all possible spiritual support. So Rosalyn and I can help everyone in whatever way we are meant to. And we ask to be used for the divine higher will, that we be a vessel of the love and light, and that we help to crack people open to another level, to remember their divine holiness and wholeness, and that they want to know more and can't wait to know more. And they cannot wait for the incredible transformations in our offerings, and they just dive deeper in more and more, and it keeps increasing and growing more and more.
Yes, and so it is. Breathing all of that. It's really allowing us to think into that, to feel into the truth of this. Thank you so much, Lisa. So, my love, I'd love for you to share with the audience, what is your journey? What got you to where you are today?
Certainly. And I am sharing this from a place of authenticity. We are in a very vulnerable time. We're living in a time where we're being called to really awaken and remember and reconnect to our truest essence, our divine sovereign selves and our wholeness and everything that we're meant for in this life, including creating and manifesting abundance in our deepest desires and our health and wealth, happiness, joy, and flow. Now, this story has nothing of any of those elements until a little bit later on. So part of my story is I left home when I was 16, very, very young, and I got into a relationship with a man. He actually was twice my age. He was 32. He wanted to take care of me, and he gave me all of the pot that I wanted. And he convinced me to not go back and finish high school. It was because, in his words, it wasn't safe because we lived in a city, and he didn't want me to work. He just wanted me to stay home and cook and clean. And back then, keep in mind, I was 16. I didn't know that I had these unresolved daddy issues from my biological father, who abandoned our family when I was only 4. I know now that that's why I ended up with this man that was twice my age. And really sadly, the relationship with him turned abusive pretty quickly. And when I look back, I know that there was elements to the whole aspect of it all forming together to be a catalyst to help to wake me up. However, I stayed in the abusive relationship far, far longer than I should have. I came to the realization that the abuse was getting worse. And we're talking physically, we're talking emotionally and verbally. Even though each time it happened, he swore up and down it would never, ever happen again. I had, even at this time, a deep, deep knowing come into my awareness that things wouldn't change, that he just kept telling me a story, kept telling me what I wanted to hear. And if I didn't leave, he would actually end up killing me. So I left. I left.
And how
in the
long
dark
were you in that relationship for when you left?
I was in it for 2 years.
2 years.
2 years, yeah. So I was still young. And so I left in the dead of night and took hardly anything with me, but I ended up in a battered women's shelter, and they helped me rebuild my life. And I'm happy to say that I went back and I finished high school, even winning a couple of awards, including a business award, which is really interesting. And from there, I went into a career in aesthetics. And over time, I was managing a large spa, and I eventually opened my own business and have been running it for over 13 years and counting. Now, it's naturally evolved over time, right? Over time, the aesthetics evolved into coaching. I didn't realize all throughout that I was coaching anyhow, right? We get so blessed with people opening their hearts when we do personal services on people. They open their hearts and they share their stories with us. And I'm going to circle back to that in a minute. I just want to mention that in between that first abusive relationship, and even though I had taken classes and I'd done a lot of healing with women's shelter, I actually experienced several more relationships like that. In fact, every relationship romantically I had before my spiritual awakening had elements of abuse. None of them were as bad as that first one, but they all included using substances. And I didn't realize it at the time, you know. I was using them to cope. I was using them to numb out so I wouldn't have to face that deep pain of being abandoned from when I was a kid. I mean, there was multitudes of other things as well, but that was the underlying issue. I feel that's exactly why I ended up with him. I wanted to mention that part because what I now know is when our soul wants us to learn a lesson, and I want our listeners to really sit with this. When our soul wants us to learn a lesson, the same one will keep repeating itself over and over in our lifetime.
It will.
Yeah, until we get it, right? So, in a lot of aspects,
it takes us a while, right?
Right.
And because it takes me a while.
Yes, and in a lot of aspects, I was shown like we are responsible for stopping our own pain because it's us that's doing it over and over, right? So here I was in yet another, crappy relationship, and I finally had enough. I was to a breaking point. It got so bad. I was just so sick of everything. I got to my lowest low, and I truly felt like I couldn't go on living. I wasn't willing to continue, and I actually got on my knees and I begged and I pleaded God to end my life. Like, please just let it be over or to be shown another way. Incredibly, the relief, the breakthrough came the next day after that fateful night of offering up prayer and surrender and request. I was shown to learn about codependency. And at first, when I first delved into it, I opened the book. I was even guided to the book. I was led to chapters, which is now called Indigo. I was guided to the exact book to open, and I opened the book, and my heart sank into my stomach because it was having to face and dive into everything I was running from.
Wow.
But I knew I had no other choice because the substances that I was using marijuana and alcohol for a number of years, like I said, to numb out. My body was no longer accepting them. I couldn't use them anymore. And I was getting panic attacks. So I knew it was a deeper calling. And I also wasn't willing to use anything stronger. So I knew that I just had to put on my big girl pants and face this, even though I went into, like, I hate cleaning. I like cleaned my whole apartment. I did everything to try and avoid it, but I did know that I had to face it. So I did. And as I learned about codependency, I learned that it was that core underlying issue of why all the relationships I was in turned out abusive. And all throughout that time, all throughout that journey of learning about it, I had many epiphanies, and there was exponential growth that I experienced, and also like this incredibly deep, profound healing. What's also really interesting, what Spirit is telling me to mention, is that by this time in my life, I had sworn off men. I was done, where before I was looking and looking and searching and going from one relationship to another, right? But at this time, I was like, no, I'm done. I'm not willing to get hurt. I went through all this stuff. So I grew and I experienced this healing. I literally reclaimed my power. And as we know, Rosalyn, reclaiming your power is calling back all the control that we give to others to dictate our lives, from like our potential life partners or our parents or family members or our culture, or even our ego's idea of who we should be. Right?
Huge right there. That is so huge. You took that power, and I want to really emphasize that part. And I'm going to put a pause here because we're going to go into commercial. But when we come back, Lisa, I really want to zoom in on exactly how you do that.
A conscious lifestyle for a mindful life. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Life is a flow, and enlightenment is simply harmonizing with the way life really is. Then you find that life is effortless, benevolent, and free of all suffering. Hey everyone, this is GP Walsh, and I want to invite you to my brand new radio show that's launching right here on OMTimes Radio called The Flow of Enlightenment. I've been a spiritual teacher for decades, and my greatest pleasure is being able to share with you these deep and highly practical spiritual ideas. So join me in The Flow every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and let yourself be transformed.
A social distancing tip.
Putting distance between yourself and others is critical to slowing the spread of coronavirus. So here are ways to stay in contact without the physical contact part. Call, send a text, set up a video conference, post on social media, dedicate a song on the radio. If you have symptoms of fever, dry cough, and shortness of breath, call your healthcare provider before going to their office. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #AloneTogether. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back, my love. So, Lisa, please do continue sharing your story. And then, like I said, we'll dive in deeper to exactly how you turned yourself around by reclaiming your power.
Absolutely. I do just want to touch on, we really don't need permission to be who we are. You're really not bound by anything except the dictates of our own soul, right? We'll dive that into deeper, but we have the power right now within us to take our life back in our own hands. We have the divine will to call back our spiritual authority and claim this life as our soul's own and step into who we are meant to be powerfully. Now, diving back into my story, incredibly, after completing the codependency work, and learning how to love myself first. And that is exactly what the codependency did. It taught me how to have a healthy relationship, which is so fascinating because that was the deepest held dream that I had. I wanted my person. I wanted a soulmate. I wanted the fairy tale per se. Now I know a fairy tale is not actually a thing, and Disney does a disservice by doing that for us. But I wanted that deep connection, that deep sacred union with someone. So after all of this, and I'd sworn off men, I met a great guy, and I enjoyed my first ever healthy romantic relationship. And I'm happy to say that we're still together to this day, and we're super happily married and have a beautiful child together. At the same time, as I was going through all the codependency healing, this is a huge part in my life, I also got really curious about the many inner nudges I'd had since I was a kid. Like I had all kinds of premonitions, even about people passing away and people getting sick and feeling energy. So it scared me then. But during this time of this healing, I delved deeply into spirituality. I was really led there. And I realized two things. A, that I wasn't crazy, because I really was scared. I really was. I realized I was just very in tuning, and I was getting messages and guidance from spirit. I was literally able to tap into the invisible realms. The other thing, B, is that I have an uncanny ability of being able to see people's highest potential, what is actually aligned with their soul's purpose and their destiny. So now I actually use these abilities in my coaching practice to help people reclaim that power and their wisdom and to realize and align with their soul's purpose so they can step into their calling, all while collaborating with spirit to help manifest it in the physical.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So freaking powerful. This is so powerful, bringing all of your gifts into your purpose. And I can really resonate with that. That's how I love to work too, Lisa.
Yes. Awesome.
So then, thank you so much. I really want to acknowledge you. I'm literally sitting here in awe. And as you're painting your story for us, just how much courage and bravery that took for you to leave that abusive marriage or relationship to your relationship and go into a women's shelter. And I'm just even thinking about how that would have been in that period, how scary that would have been, and how determined you were in knowing that there was something greater for yourself. And I don't know if you were conscious about that at that time, but the fact that your soul took you there and the incredible journey of going from that as your quote unquote rock bottom to you winning awards. Wow. Like I'm so blown away, Lisa. So for the audience, this is my first time actually hearing Lisa's story in this way. And I'm literally here in awe because I did not know that was your rock bottom. So thank you so much for sharing that with us. And so
thank you.
Oh, you're amazing. Just give me
all
love.
We're amazing.
I'm really curious, how did you, like, what was there like a moment, a pivotal moment where it was just like, I'm taking my power back? Or did it slowly start to come and you were starting to see it, you were questioning it, and then like, what was that journey exactly like if we were to zoom in on you taking your power back?
Yeah, it honestly came with, because I will say during that time, like with the battered women's shelter and also with like the consecutive abusive relationships and the substance abuse, I had a lot of shame come up when I was doing that deeper healing work. And to be honest, I went into it kicking and screaming. Like, I'm being completely vulnerable with you, saying that I don't think I would have done it if I wouldn't have had my butt kicked into it. Like literally, Spirit took away everything that gave me any sense of joy. So I went through the proverbial dark night of the soul. Is exactly. And I went in kicking and screaming, like I really did. But I am here to say it does not have to be like that. I've worked with many people that they do not have to go through the trauma and the drama that I went through, but that is how it came through for me. So even though you speak to my courage and all of that, it was really, and I'm humbled by that, but it really came as a butt kick because nothing was working and I literally wanted to end my life. That was the pivotal. I was not willing to continue. I wanted to be done.
Wow.
Yeah.
And just like, I'm imagining people listening to that right there. And I imagine that there's so many people who can resonate with that. Like that sense of like, there's no hope. I just want to be done. I just want to like, my life. Like that is, I'm not even like, I feel tearful just feeling into that. And just that, what is that wave of like, nope, there's something more for you. Like, tell us, break it down, because if there's somebody listening out there, Lisa, and they're really like feeling so lost, feeling so hopeless, or maybe not even just not that degree of hopelessness, but feeling lost. How do we start to tap into our?
Well, and especially, you know, with what's going on in the world right now, a lot of people are feeling extremely lost and just not knowing what to do. And what really enabled me to, because it's not just that story that I shared, there's many stories. I went through a lot of traumas in my life, a lot of traumas. I had over 30 people die before I was 20 years old. I went through a lot of stuff. So what I keep coming back to, Rosalyn, and we can speak to this from Spirit Junkie, from our teacher teaching us this, is spiritual guidance is always available to us. And it is when we surrender, right? It was the surrender part that really, really did it for me to a plan far greater than my own, because my own wasn't working too well, right? I'd done all the things. And to be honest, I thought that I thought I was really great at partying. I didn't know that I was coping and doing all of those things until everything was all taken from me, until I physically couldn't do it anymore. So if we have the slightest, all we need is a mustard seed of faith and willingness. All we have to do is, you don't even have to do it out loud. You can say it inside to yourself, like, please show me, please lead me, please guide me. We're always being led, guided, and showed the way. There's always signs. And one thing that I do want to offer in that respect, and I wasn't going to do that, but I do want to offer everybody on the call here and even on the replay, please feel welcome to hop onto a call with me. I have the Soul Aligned Success Strategy. It's essentially reconnecting to yourself, to source, to your inner wisdom. So please feel welcome to take that up, because it's really great to get clear and to know that there is more. Sometimes we get so stuck in and lost in uncertainty and overwhelm and even fear and deer in the headlight syndrome. We get stuck and we can't see the forest through the trees.
Yes, that is so true. That's so generous of you, Lisa. Are you ready?
Of course.
Yes,
I'm ready.
We will have her contact info in the show notes, as well as at the end she'll be sharing where exactly you can get a hold of her. So thank you, Lisa.
Absolutely.
So surrendering, coming back to the steps, is the first thing is what I heard was it's surrendering, the power of surrendering and knowing that we got to just really look at what it let go. That's what surrender is.
Let go. 100%.
And asking your guides, asking spirit, asking a higher power, even if you don't believe there is one, it's starting to just trust in the unknown. That put your faith in the possibilities that there's something greater beyond just this form. And asking for that guidance, asking for signs. I know for myself, when I'm feeling so lost or I'm feeling confused and I don't know what path to take, I will ask God, I will ask my angels, please give me a sign. And oftentimes I will be specific about the sign. If I'm supposed to take path A, give me a sign of X. If I'm supposed to take path B, give me a sign of B. So I will be really clear about what those signs are.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, love.
Oh, I was just going to say, absolutely. And that's one thing you can ask, like, show me. And it can be showing up as, it can be dimes, it can be feathers. It's a constant reassurance. And in fact, Spirit is always trying to get our attention. So once we ask for a sign, like, we have so much support available to us if we are willing to ask. Because we're born with free will, we have to ask. So it's asking, and again, it doesn't have to be as dire of a situation of what I have. It can be, you losing a job. It can be knowing about a relationship. It can be knowing about a child. It can be knowing about a decision that you need to make. It is all absolutely there for you. And all you do, a big thing is even what we did at the start of the show, Rosalyn, and that was how we set our intention. Our intention, part of my intention with my surrender without even knowing is like, help me, freaking help me, please. I can't do this. Like, help me.
Yes, I have heard incredible stories of when people just say, help me. They surrender, help me, give me a sign. I'm desperate, right? And the most miraculous signs come forward. It is incredible.
And that is what made me actually open to this incredible aspect of life. I wrote a book and it became bestseller, and it was a co-authored book, and it was literally awakening to the magic of life, because that's what I felt happened after that. It's like I got to experience all these signs and all these synchronicities and these fascinating things that happen. It's like, oh my gosh, it is just this illusion, right? It's literally our destiny to awaken from spiritual amnesia and to realign with the original intention of our soul. And if we can really, and even if you need to work with somebody, whether it's me or somebody else, we evaluate who we have become so then we can shatter these self-created illusions, which then allows this inner truth to come out into the open and for it to shine, right? Like, that's really what it is.
Yes, 1,000%. And so this is really what we're talking about, we're tapping into the divine feminine energy.
Yeah.
And this episode is all about awakening the divine feminine, because that is what you help people do, Lisa. So I'd love for you to share your definition of feminine.
Yeah. So deep within you, you feel like something's missing. You feel a calling. You've been aching and seeking for more. You've always known, like, there must be something more. You were meant for more. And actually, you were right, because there's an inherent power that lives within you that unlocks all the magic and miracles and abundance that's meant for you. And it's where you will finally feel that deep connection and fulfillment and meaning that you've been craving, that you've been yearning for. It's actually meant for you, and it gets to be easier than it ever has been. It's all right there within you, and it's ready to be awakened and remembered and activated. And I've created an 8-week course where it helps you reclaim all of it. And it is absolutely the divine feminine that is awakening on the planet right now. And we feel like we can't get to, like we can almost get to where we want to be, but we don't ever fully get there. It's because we have literally been operating without an essential part of our being. We've been in this patriarchal, over-masculinized, in a wounded paradigm of oppression. So we've been operating without this essential part of our being. We feel like something's missing because there actually has been. We've only been told half of the story, right? We're so much more than what we've been told. There's so much more available to us, more than we can even imagine. We've been missing a whole other half of you, and she is the divine feminine, and it's within each and every one of us, and she's being called to reawaken and re-remember. She's literally everything that we've been missing, and it's everything that we need to get to where we want to go. It is absolutely the path to your most fulfilled and aligned and most joyful life possible.
Wow.
When we remember
statement around we're missing half of us, not just like a little bit, but half. So I really want us to jam a little bit more about what that means when we come back from commercial, because I think some people, including myself, I'm like, oh, tell me more, like half, that's a lot. So let's come back and jam on what exactly that means and how that may share a segment with some of the people in the audience so that they can start to really see where they need to go.
Perfect.
Free your mind. Expand your soul. OMTimes Radio. IOM-FM.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at omtimes.com. OMTimes, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Grab a cup of tea or a glass of wine and tune in for Inspired Conversations with publisher Linda Joy on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Linda creates sacred space for leading female luminaries, empowering authors, heart-centered female entrepreneurs, coaches, and healers. A soulful venue where guests openly share the fears and obstacles they've overcome, wisdom and lessons learned, and the personal journey that led them to the transformational work they do in the world. Inspired Conversations to empower you on your path to authentic, soulful living.
Melissa from Michigan. I work an extra part-time job serving lunch at my child's school, but I still can't afford to put food on our table.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Okay, welcome back, my love. So, Lisa, let's jam a little bit more on what it means to be missing half of you, half of us, you, the universal you. And I know that you go deeper into this with your clients and your soul tribe in your program, Awaken the Divine Feminine. So please share with us a little bit more about this.
Absolutely. So we've been living at 50%. We're operating at 50%. So let's explore more of what that means. So we know that there's deep ache. We know that we're missing something. And most of us are trying to fill it up with like alcohol or food or overworking, numbing ourselves out, right? But all we're trying to do is numbing ourselves enough so we don't have to feel anything real, right? We're trying to fill this hole, but we can never fill that hole. It's because we are actually missing a part of us. It's part of our energetic makeup. And that void that we are feeling is us missing our other half, right? So that our other half is our power and our abilities and our truth that we were never meant to be separated from. And that is the divine feminine. And it's not that we just miss the feminine energy, it's that we miss everything that she brings with her, everything that she makes possible. So like the depths of pleasure, the power of our inner knowing and our intuition, and the ability to move with our emotions instead of being terrified of them or taken out by them or being overwhelmed by them or rejecting them or burying them or pushing them down. The connection to our bodies and their deepest sensations, their powerful messages to us, our greatest access to pleasure. Our
my favorite word, pleasure.
Yeah, I know, I love it. Yeah. It's literally our ability.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, she's our ability to access all of who we are and all of what we're meant for, all of what's possible for us, and all of what we're capable of.
And I feel like that's what all those quote unquote surface behaviors of filling the void, the food, diving into food and addiction, alcohol, drugs, sex, in the addictive ways, the unhealthy ways, like the root of that, is really trying to find the pleasure. But because the root is trying to be a Band-Aid for the real work, it's like we actually need to, because there's nothing wrong with those behaviors, but it's more about what's the root of those behaviors. And we need to find the root of true essence, true pleasure, true divine feminine energy. And of course, it doesn't matter what gender you are, divine feminine lives within us and is always available to us, even for men. And so I'd love for you, Lisa, and I know that you really dive in deeper with your clients in your program, but if you could give us, let's have you lead us into a guided meditation right now, and lead us into connecting with our divine feminine, and then I'll come in the little bit here with the light language to seal it in.
Beautiful. So let's get comfortable and let's set our intention that we delve to the deepest parts of our remembrance. We're going to drop into our bodies, which gives us the gift of coming home to our centers. Feeling this anchoring in, not just in your brain or in your rational mind, but so much deeper, more ancient wisdom. Close your eyes if you haven't already and notice how this is such a gift. To return to your inner world, to what's deeper than what you can just see. And now feel or just intend your energy, your awareness, your conscious thought to drop down into your body. Inhaling and exhaling as you anchor into your lower body. Dropping into your sacral chakra, located 2 inches below your belly button, your sacral bowl. Breathing What do you notice here? As you're deepening into your body, as you feel the weight of your body, what do you notice? What happens in your body? What sensations move through you? Where do you feel them? What thoughts or emotions are cropping up? Just notice. Feeling deep, deep down into your sacral chakra, your pelvis, your womb. There were a seed down here. A seed of who you really are. An aspect of yourself that you've forgotten. What parts of you want to be reclaimed, returned? What part of you is ready to be embodied? What seed of who you are is ready to bloom, is ready to come to fruition, is ready to be expressed? As you feel into this, notice what you feel in your body as you connect with this part of you that is ready to be reclaimed, that is ready to awaken. It's all perfect. Just notice. See if you can feel the best possible version of this part of you. The version where we're reclaiming it, embodying it, and bringing it into you. And into the light is easy, where it's natural, where it's beautiful, where it unlocks the doors you've been banging on or afraid to open for years. Enjoying a few more breaths here. Noticing your breath. Noticing what happens in your body. Taking a nice, deep, collective last breath here. And exhale, open mouth to anything that wants to be released. Beautiful. Amen. Opening your eyes when you're ready. Coming back to presence here.
Actually, I'll come in with a light language, so we'll stay where we are. And you can keep your eyes soft or closed. And we'll seal this in with a light language. Ora ti kira tua, kira ti kira tua. Ora kira tu kora tu kora ti kira tu kora tia. Ora kira ti kira tua. Breathing in what feels so aligned, so good, so light, so solid. Kora ti kira tu kora tia, kora tia. Ora kora ti kira tu kora tia. Calling in more, surrendering leg or anything that doesn't serve or support. Opening your awareness, opening yourself to all the possibilities, the infinite amount of possibilities that are available to you that align you with hope, with inspiration, with purpose, with love, with light, with joy, with freedom, with goddess energy of abundance, of prosperity, of how your bodies into quarter to kira to kara to quarter to. You feel you are one with yourself and with the collective. Quarter to kira to quarter to. You feel nothing but love and light. You feel your frequency, your soul frequency of just being love. Quarter kira to quarter to kira. Quarter to kira to. Breathing this in. And breathing out love. So just hanging out with your experience. Taking your time to find a way to integrate what you just experienced. Finding a way to just really honor your divine feminine that you just tapped into. Finding a way to complete your process, whether that's sealing it in with an image, the key back. Remember that this place is always available inside you. You can access it anytime, no matter what you're doing, who you're with, or where you're at. So it might be an image, a word, or a phrase to support you to key yourself back home here, to your divine feminine. And then when you're ready, my love, just very slowly and gently start to bring your awareness back into your environment. When you're ready, just very slowly and gently open your eyes. You might want to blink a few times, and things might look a little bit more vivid, crisp, clear. Sometimes it might be blurry, so there's no right or wrong. Your body's just recalibrating. Trust what's going on. Drink water. Serve through the rest of your day. Thank you so much, Lisa. And so, my love, I would love for you to take the last 5 minutes here to share a little bit about your program, who exactly this is for, and how people can learn more about it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That was so incredible. I love your light language. It always activates me and fills me up so much. I was like, oh, I got to come back now.
Amazing. My own language benefits too, so it is a pleasure to deliver and to receive. Thank you, love.
Gorgeous. Thank you. Okay, ladies. So this, and not even ladies and gentlemen, we are all being called into our divine feminine and our divine sovereign self. So that actually includes our divine masculine as well. So our divine feminine is all about embodying and receiving and allowing, but we need our divine masculine as well to take the action to move forward. This course was created with Spirit's direction, which includes exactly how to come back to you and also how to manifest and co-create all your desire and how to own it without guilt or shame. What's really awesome is that you will receive practical teachings. Like I'm like the practical woo. I was actually talking to Corey the other day, and he was telling me, Corey Poirier, who you work with, he was telling me, he's like, I'm practical woo. I'm like, I'm taking that. I love that. I am practical woo. Like I'm all about spirituality, but I also absolutely love the practical action steps, all that. So you guys will get those teachings that you can apply to in your daily life. You will get to see miracles happen right before your eyes. And you get to experience the connection and clarity that we all deeply desire. The course includes powerful activations and sacred initiations. We really help to heal blocks that hold people back from living the life that they want, and really get to the root and release the limiting beliefs that prevent people from moving forward. They really reunite to their true whole self, right? That like we get to incorporate all the 50% that we are living at, and then we get to embody our intuition and all our different abilities and capabilities. We get to remember what is true and real and what is actually important. This is a deep, sacred healing container where we cultivate a deeper connection with yourself and with spirit to heal.
I love it.
Yeah, beautiful.
What is the link? So that people are like, what is the link? LisaStamper.com, LisaStamper.com. You can find it all there. Awesome. Thank you, love. And if you need to connect with me, I also have an affiliate link for her program. Find me on Instagram, hold at Sexy Warrior, and send me a DM. I'll send you the price. Thank you, my love. Thank you so much for being here. I know too. I love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Blessings.